Hello guys, welcome to another video. Today we are going to do paper 1 of November 2011. Okay, so moving on to question number 1, we have fractions. So subtract these two fractions. So the first thing we need to do is to expand the fractions. So 2 times 4 is 8, 8 plus 3 is 11, so that will be 11 over 4 minus 1 times 9 is 9 plus 7 is 16 over 9. So here we see our base are different. We have to find LCM, which is 4 times 9, and then we cross multiply will be 9 times 11, 99, minus 4 times 16 will be 64. So let's simplify that. 99 minus 64, that will be 5, 3, 35 divided by 36, and that is your answer for part A. 35 divided by 36. So moving on to part B, we have 0.7 minus 0.1 times 3. So we have to use BODMAS to know which one we will need to do first. So we have to multiply first. So let's do that. So 0.1 times 3 will be, so that will be 0.3. So 0.7 minus 0.3 will be 0.4. So the answer will be 0.4 for part B. So now moving on to number 2. Ali and Ben share $30 such that Ali's share and Ben's share are in the ratio of 3 to 2. So 3 to 2 are the shares. Calculate Ali's shares. Ali has 3. So in total we have 5 shares, so 3 over 5 times 30 to find the share of Ali. So 5, 1, 6, that will be $18. So part A will be $18 for Ali. Question part B, write the following numbers, times in order of size starting with the smallest. So here we observe we have seconds, we have minutes, we have hours. So what can we do? We can first convert everything to the same unit. Let's convert everything to minutes, for example. So this is 1 hour and 3/4 minutes. So 1.75 times 60. So it will be 60 plus 45, that will be 105. So 105 minutes for this part. How about this one? So we know that 60 seconds is 1 minute. So we have to divide this by 60. So 6,500 divided by 60. What do we get? Let's divide by 6. We have 1. Then we have 0. We have 8. And then something will be remaining over. Right, so now let's do this. So it will be 108 and something minutes. So by comparison, which one is the smallest? So this one will be the smallest, which is 1 hour 3/4, and then the next one will be this one, which is 6,500 seconds, and the last one will be 110 minutes. And that is your answer for part B. Question number 9. Exactly 9 liters of liquid filled 60 identical bottles. How many liters filled 40 bottles? So we know that 9 liters filled 60 bottles. So 1 liter will fill 60 divided by 90. So now we have to find how many liters we need to fill 40 bottles. So we actually have to flip it the other way around. So we know that 60 bottle needs 9 liters of liquid. So 1 bottle will need 9 divided by 60 liters. So 40 bottles will need 90 divided by 40. So I divide by 60 times 40 liters. Now we can simplify 0, 0 divided by 3. We have 3. We have 2, 2, 2. That will be 6 liters. So your answer here will be 6 liters of liquid will fill out 40 bottles. So part B, how many of these bottles are filled using 75 So 750 milliliters of liquid. So we know that 1 liter is equal to 1000 milliliters. So we know that so one bottle needs this much liter. So one bottle needs 9/60 liters. Let's convert this to milliliters. So 9/60 times 1000. So 0, 0 divided by 3. We have 3 and 2. That will be 50. So 150 milliliters. So one bottle needs 150 milliliters. How many bottles we will have with 750? So let's find out. So we know 150 will fill out one bottle. So 750 will fill out 1 divided by 150 times 750. Simplify. 0, 0 divided by 5. We have 3. We have 1. So 2, 5 divided by 3. We have 1, 5. So 750 will fill out 5 bottles. That is your answer for part B. Moving on to part 4. It is given that f of x is equal to 3 plus x divided by 2. That's the function f of x. Part A, find f of minus 3, which means we have to replace the value of x by minus 3. So f of minus 3 will be 3 minus 3 divided by 2. That will be 0. So now we have to find f inverse. The first step is to let y equal to 3 plus x divided by 2. So now we cross multiply. We have 2y equal to 3 plus x. So let's make x the subject of formula. So x becomes 2y minus 3. And this is your answer for f inverse. F inverse, it is in terms of x, so we have to change y to x. That is your answer for f of inverse of x. Question number 5, part A. Express the number in standard form. So we have to move 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So 4.2 times 10 power of minus 5. That is part A. Part B, calculate this two operations. So multiply, give your answer in standard form. So 7 times 3 is 21 times 10 power of minus 3 times 10 power of 9. So plus 9. That will be 21 times 10 power of 6. So now your answer needs to be in standard form. So 2.1 times 10 power of 7. That is question number 5. So now moving on to question number 6, part A. We have to solve this for x. So let's expand the bracket first. So 2 times 4 will be 8 minus 2x less than x minus 10. So let's send x here and numbers over here. What do we have? We have 8 plus 10 less than x plus 2x. So 18 will be less than 3x. Divided by 3 on both sides. What do we have? 6 is less than x, which means x is more than or equal to 6. Your answer will be this. Moving on to part B now. Find the smallest integer n such that 3n bigger than minus 17. So n will be what? Needs to be bigger than minus 17 divided by 3. N needs to be greater than. So let's do the division. So 1, we have 5, and then we have point will be about 2, and then 6 going on, right? So it needs to be at least more than minus 5.6. Okay. So if you have a line here, that's the value of, let's say this is the value of minus 6, minus 5, minus 4, minus 3. So that's the value going on this side. So the value of n needs to be bigger than minus 5.6, will be about here. It needs to be bigger than this value. So find the smallest integer n. So which integer is bigger than this value? So for minus 5, your answer will be minus 5 for n. That is part B for number 6. So now moving on to question number 7. Part A, evaluate these indices. So anything power 0 is 1 minus 4 power minus 2. So let's write this down here. So 4 power minus 2. What is 4? 4 is also 4 over 1 power minus 2. We want to change this power to positive. We have to flip the inside upside down. We will have 2. That'll be 1 over 16. Okay. So here we have 1 minus 1 over 16 will become 15 over 16, and that will be your answer for part A, 15 divided by 16. Now for part B, simplify this indices, I guess. So we have 2x squared power 3. So let's bring the power inside. We have 2 power 3 x 2 times 3. That will become 8x power 6. So that will be your answer for part B, question 7. Question number 8. The first 4 terms of a sequence are 55, 53, 49, 41. So 1, 2, 3, and 4 term. The nth term of the sequence is this. So Tn, which is the nth term, is 57 minus 2 power n. Find the 5th term, so find T5. So n equal to 5, so we have to replace in the equation. So 5 times 5 times 5 times 5, so 5 times basically, it will be 5 minus 32. Your answer will be 25 for part A, 25. So now part B, when it says write down the nth term of this sequence. So when you have write down, it means usually you have to use the information above to find this answer. So this one is not very obvious, you have to really observe. For example, let's compare. We have above, we have the terms 55, 53, 49, and 41. So what is the difference between this and this term? It is, difference will be 1, that will be 2, 3, and 4. So what else do we know? We know that this is the first term, second term, third and fourth term. So what does it mean? It means that as we go on, the difference between the two terms will be n. Does that make sense? Yeah. So if the Tn of this term is given by this, it means that the term n of this term will be equal to, is a difference of, so we have to take 57 minus 2, and then what is the difference between those two terms? It is the term, which is minus n. So your answer will be 57 minus n. Okay, so that was part B. Now moving on to question number 9. So it says each interior angle of a regular polygon is p times each exterior angle. So from this we have, it tells me that interior angle is equal to p times exterior angle. Is that correct? Yeah. So now if we call this exterior angle x, let's name it x. So we have this equal to px. So interior angle equal to px. So interior angle equal to px. So how do you find exterior angle? So we know that exterior angle is equal to 180 minus interior angle. Okay, so now let's make this subject of formula. So interior angle is equal to 180 minus exterior angle, which we say we will call it x, so minus x. So in that case, what do we have now? We have 180 minus x equal to px. So if we bring x on this side, we have px plus x equal to 180. So factorize x, we have p plus 1 equal to 180. So x, which is the exterior angle, equal to 180 divided by p plus 1. So your answer for part A will be 180 divided by p plus 1. So now for part B, find the number of sides of a polygon in terms of p. So how do you find the sides? Using the exterior angle. So number of sides is equal to 360 divided by the exterior angle, which is equal to x. X is equal to this. So let's replace that back in. 180 divided by p plus 1. So now let's rearrange. It will become 360 divided by 180 times p plus 1. So there will be 1, 2. So you will get to p plus 2. And that is your answer for part B, which is 2p plus 2 sides. Question number 10. The Venn diagram shows the universal set and the set B. A and B are two sets that are, so this is C actually, A and C are two sets that, such that A union B is equal to B, A intersection B is not equal to B, and then we have A intersection C equal to 0, which means A does not meet with C, that's what it means, and then B intersection C is not equal to 0, which means B actually meets C. So let's do the first one. A union B is B, which means A will need to be inside of B. That's your set A. A intersection B is not equal to B, that's okay. We have A intersection C is empty set, which means A does not intersect with C. And B intersects with C, which means we have a set C which intersects with B but not with A. And that is your answer for part 10. So now part 11. By writing each number correct to two significant figures, estimate correct to one significant figure the value of this. So let's change every number here to two significant figures. So we have 110.94, we have 0.2034, we have 368.62. So we have to estimate them correct to two significant figures. So leave these two alone, the rest will become 0. And here, leave this alone and the rest becomes 0, so 0.2000. So leave these two, we have to add 1. That will become 37.0. Here we go. So now we replace the value inside. We see that we have square root of 110 minus 0.2 times 370. So we first have to do multiplication. So we cut the 0 off, so this moves here. It will become 110 minus 2 times 37, that will be 74. 110 minus 74 will be what? 10, that will be 6, that will be 3. So your answer will be square root of 36, which will be 6. So give your answer correct to one significant figure, it will be 6. Question number 12. The length of the rectangle is 8 centimeters. It is increased by 150%. So let's find out by how much it is increased. So 150% times 8 will be how much? 0, 0. Divided by 5, we have 3, 2, 1, 4. 4 times 3 will be 12. It was increased by 12 centimeters. So what is the new length? New length will be initial length plus the amount increased. That will be 20 centimeters. So your answer for part 12 will be 20 centimeters. Question number 13, we have y is inversely proportional to x. So y is inversely proportional to x. That's the equation that we have from this line. The table shows some values of x and y, so we have x and y, and that's the table that we have for the values. So we see that we can use these two values to find the value of k. So we know that y equal to k divided by x. We know that when x equal to 3, y equal to 20. So we can find the value of k. K we have to, k equal to y times x, which is 3 times 20. That will be 60. So the value of the equation will become y equal to 60 divided by x. So that's the first part. Part A, find the value of p. Where is p? P is here. So we know that when x equal to 4, we need to find the value of y. So y equal to 60 divided by 4, which is 15. Thus, the value of P will be 15. So 15 will be the answer for part A. Find the value of Q. Q is here. So Q is x. Find x when y equal to 5. So 5. So we know the equation is what? The equation is y equal to 60 divided by x. So find the value of x when y equal to 5. So 5 equal to 60 divided by x. So x will be equal to 60 divided by 5, which is 12. So value of Q will be 12. And the last question will be, express m in terms of n. So what is m? M is actually the value of y, and n will be x. So y is actually m, and x is n. Equation that we have is y is equal to 60 over x. So we know that m equal to 60 divided by n. So your question will be express m in terms of n. So m equal to 60 divided by n. So your answer is 60 divided by n. And that is question number 13. Question number 14. In the diagram, the points A, B, C, and D lie on the circle center O. So we have a center O. A, B, C, and D lie on the circle of center O. So we do observe that OB, OD are radius of the same circle. That makes sense, right? Okay. So we are given that the angle BAD, so BAD is 47. Part A, find the angle BOD. Where's BOD? BOD, find this angle. So here we have to use a rule actually. Angle at center is always twice the angle at circumference. So BOD is equal to 2 times angle at circumference. That will be 94. So 94 degrees will be this angle. Right. So let's have a look at this triangle. We realize that this side and this side are equal. So triangle, the sum of angle in the triangle will be 180. So let's do 180 minus 94. What do we have? 7, 10, that will be 6, that will be 8. So 86 will be these two angles. Now we divide by 2. We have 1, we have 4, 3. So this will be 43, and this will be 43 as well. So just to note this on the diagram. So now part B, find the angle BCD. So where's BCD? So BCD, find this angle. This is pretty easy actually. So let's take out this shape and we can observe. So B is here, we have A is here, D is here, C is here, and that's joined to this point. So that's B, that's C, that's point D, and that's point A. We need to find this angle here, and we know the size of this angle, which is 47 degrees. So since all the points are touching the circle, we can use a rule. The rule says that opposite angle adds up to 180, which means if you add this angle with this angle will be 180. So this angle will be equal to 180 minus 47. 10 will be 3, 7 minus 3, 4 will be 3 as well. So BCD will become 133 degrees. So for the last part, find the angle OBD. So where's OBD? OBD. So that will be 43 as shown above. So that will be 43 degrees. And that is question number 14. Question number 15. In a survey, some people were asked which of 3 songs labeled A, B, and C they like best. Okay. The diagram shows part of a pie chart illustrating the results. The angle of the sector that represents the people who like C best is 168. Complete the pie chart. So we have to use our protractor to measure the angle 168 for C. So there we go. Use our protractor here. So angle C needs to be 168. So we go to the center and let's measure 168. So this will be 0. That will be 120. 160 and 150. 168 will be about the value here. So let's join the center to this point to find the angle 168. Okay, so that is the angle 168 for C. So what is this angle? So we have to do 360 minus 168. We have 6, 5, 10, 2, 10. That was 6, 4, 9, 1. That will be 192. Oh no, so sorry, I have to still minus 45. I made a mistake. Minus 45, we have 8, 10, 7, 4, 1. So 147. Okay, now that makes sense. Okay, so expressing your answer in its lowest terms, find the fraction of people in the survey who likes C. So fraction will be 168 degrees divided by 360. So let's divide. We will see what do we get. So let's divide by let's try 2. They are both even, so let's try 2. We have 18, 0. That will be 8, 4. So 84 divided by 18, 0. Let's try divide by 4. We have here we have 4, 16, 2, 5 will be 2, 1. So we have 21 over 45 divided by 3. We have 7. Divided by 3 we have 15. So it will be 7 over 15. Okay, so your answer for part B will become 7 over 15 as a fraction of people who like C best. Given that 30 people liked A best, find the number of people in the survey. So 45 degrees represents 30 people. So 45 degrees represent 30 people. So in a whole pie chart, everyone represents 360 degrees. So we have to find 30 divided by 45 degrees times 360 to find the total number of people. So let's divide by 3. We have 10. Divide by 3 by 5. Divide by 5, what do we have? Divide by 3 again, we have 5. Divide by 3, we have 120. Divide by 5, we have 1, 2. So 2 times 120, we will have 240. So your answer for part C will become 240 people in this survey. And that is question number 15. Question number 16. The distribution of length of time taken by an engineer to repair some washing machines is given in a table. So we have time t and frequency in this table. The histogram represents some information. So whenever you see histogram, we have to find the frequency density, which is equal to frequency divided by class width. So what are the class width of these groups? So 3 minus 1 is 2, 4 minus 3, 1, 5 minus 4 is 1, 8 minus 5 will be 3. So how do you find frequency density? We take frequency divided by class width, so k divided by 2, 5 divided by 1, which is 5, 4, and 1. Question part A, find the value of k. K is the frequency here. How do we find the value of k? We use this value. So from the table we see that the frequency density of this group 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3 is value of 2, which means k over 2 equal to 2. So k over 2 equal to 2, thus k equal to 4. Value of k is 4. Part B, complete the histogram. Okay, so we have been given these two groups, so this and this, that's good, and the rest will be 4, 5 is 4, so 4, 5, the value is 4. So you have to use a ruler for that. And we have a last class. The last group will be 5 to 8, so 5 to 8 will be value of 1. That is your answer. for part B. Okay, moving on to question number 17 now. The length of a side of a square is given as 57 millimeters. Correct to the nearest millimeter. So correct to the nearest 1 millimeter. Write down the upper bound for the length of one side. Okay, so let's do that. So when we have a measurement, we take the measurement, we write plus minus, take the nearest measurement, which is 1, divide by 2 to obtain the bound. Upper bound will be 57 plus 0.5 will be 57.5, and minus that will be 56.5. Question is, write down the upper bound will become 57.5. Part B, giving your answer in centimeters, calculate the upper bound for the perimeter of the square. The square have 4 sides the same, so we have to find the upper bound. So we have to do 4 times 57.5. So 4 times 5 is 20. 4 times 7 will be 28, plus 2 will be 30. 4 times 5 is 20, plus 3 will be 23. Now we have 1 decimal place, so we move 1 decimal place. So the perimeter is 230 millimeters. So we have to give our answers in centimeters. So we know that 1 centimeter is equal to 10 millimeters. So we have to convert this to centimeter. We have to divide by 10. So 230 divided by 10 will become 23 centimeters. And that is your answer for part B, question 17. Question number 18. Renata went on a journey that took 7.5 hours. Part A. The journey started at 22:48 on Monday. At what time on Tuesday did it finish? So Monday ends at midnight, right? So let's find the time from this to midnight. So midnight is 24 hours minus this. That will be, so that will be 3, and that will be 60 minutes. 60 minutes minus 48, that will give me 12 and 1. So it will take me 1 hour and 12 to come to midnight, and the next day starts from midnight. So next day will take me how long? So let's add the remaining time. So 7, it took him 7.5 hours. So 7.5 hours minus this time, which is past to come to midnight. So 1 and 12, that will be 17 and 6. So it will be this time the next day when his journey finished. So this time will be 06:17 a.m. That's the time at which his journey is finished. Part B. Find the first part of the journey. So in the first part of the journey, Renata traveled 150 kilometers in 5 hours. So first part is distance 1 is 150 times 1 is 5 hours. Right. She traveled at an average speed of 20 kilometers per hour for the rest of the journey. For the rest of the journey, she traveled at a speed of 20 kilometers per hour. What is the rest of the journey? So we know that she took 7.5 hours to complete the journey, which means that T2 will be 2.5 hours, because we have to do 7.5 minus 5 to obtain this time. So if you want to find the average speed, so average speed is total distance divided by total time. This one will be 150 plus, we have to find the distance d2. So how long it would take to travel d2 is 2 hours, so we have to times those two to find the value of d2. So 2.5 times 20, that will be 50. So d2 is 50. So total distance become 150 plus 50 divided by total time taken. It will be 7 and a half, which is 7.5. So average speed will become 200 divided by 7.5. So now we have to simplify. We can times 10 on both sides. We will have 2000 divided by 75. So let's divide by 25. Alright, let's divide by 5. 5, that will becomes 1, 1, 5. 400. 5 again, that will become 3. 5 again, that will become 80. So we have 80 divided by 3 will be the speed of Renata. So 80 over 3. So now if you want to convert this to a mixed number, you can always do that. So you will get about divided by 3, so 3 times 1, so that will become 2. And here we will have 2 remaining, that will become 6. And we have 2 remaining as well. So we will have 26 2 over 3 kilometers per hour. You can write this or that, it will be the answer for average speed for the whole journey. So now moving on to question number 19. Solve the simultaneous equation for these two. So here we have x, so we make x the subject of formula. X will be minus 15 minus 4y. So we place that in the first equation. We have 2. X is minus 15 minus 4y plus 3y equal to 0. So let's expand the bracket now. Minus 30 minus 6y plus 3y equal to 0. So minus 30, we have minus 3y equal to 0. So 3y equal to minus 30. So y equal to minus 10. Value of x will be minus 15 minus 4 times minus 10, which is minus 15 plus 40. That will be 25. So value of x will be 25 and y will be minus 10. And that is your answer for question number 19. Question number 20. Triangles ABC, X, Y, Z are similar, and angle ABC equal to angle XYZ. This equal to this. Great. So these two triangles are similar. It means that the corresponding sides are proportional to each other. They have the same constant. So angle BAC is X, angle YZX is Y, where these two are not the same. Okay, so it means that if they are not the same, it means the other one is the same. So this will be X and this will be angle Y, because they are similar triangles. They have the same angles. This is what it means. We have AB as 3 centimeter, XY as 4 centimeter, and YZ as 5 centimeter, given to us on the diagrams. Express angle ABC in terms of X and Y. So where's angle ABC? ABC. So pretty easy. The sum of the angles is 180. So ABC is equal to 180 minus X minus Y. And that is your answer for part A. Now part B, find the side BC. So where is BC? BC is this side. As you can see, it is opposite the angle X. So now we have to use proportionality to find the side BC. So we say BC divide by, where is opposite of side X? Divide by 5 is equal to, opposite of side Y is 3. Divide by, Y is here, 4. Okay, so find BC. BC will be 3 over 4 times 5. That will be what? So that will be 0.75 times 5. So what is 75 times 5? Let's do that. So 5 times 5 is 25. 7 times 5 is 35, plus 2, 37. So here we have 2 decimal places. We have moved 2 decimal places. Your answer will be 3.75. So BC will be 3.75 centimeter. So now moving on to part C. Write down the value of triangle ABC over triangle XYZ. So the ratio of these two triangles. So this one is pretty easy. So we can just use the sides to compare. Let's find a corresponding side. So angle opposite x for this one is 5. So triangle, let's say triangle ABC compared with triangle XYZ. The side corresponding to x is 5. The side corresponding to x will be 3.75. Okay, so this one is kind of hard to compare. Let's not do that one. So let's choose a different side. The side corresponding to y is 4. The side corresponding to y is 3. As you can see, we have the ratio of 3/4 for the length, for the side. This will be half units centimeter. So now we need to compare the areas. Areas half unit centimeter square. So we have to square both sides. We will have 9 compared with 16. So that will be your answer for here. Triangle ABC will be 9. Triangle XYZ will be 16. That will be your answer for part C. And that is question number 20. Question number 21. The diagram is a speed time graph of the last 100 seconds of a train's journey. Okay. Part A. Calculate the train's retardation during the last 10 seconds. So when we have a speed time graph, retardation is equal to the gradient of the triangle. So as you can see, the last 10 seconds have a height of 50 and a base of 10. So the gradient is equal to height divided by base, which is 50 divided by 10, which is 5. So the answer is 5 meters per second square. So moving on to part B. Calculate the distance traveled in 100 seconds. Distance traveled is area under graph. So what do we have here? Here we have area of a trapezium plus area of a triangle. So let's find the area of the triangle. That will be half times base, which is 10, times height, which is 50. That's the area of the triangle. So we have 25 to 50. That's for the triangle. And now what's remaining? Now we have this part remaining, which is a trapezium. What is the area of a trapezium? It is actually half times sum of both sides. So one side is 50 and one side is 20. So sum of both sides will be 20 plus 50 times the length in between is 90. So times 90 for the area of trapezium. So half times 70 will be 35 times 90. That will give me, so let's try this here. So we have 35 times 90, 0, 45, 27 plus 4, that will be 31. So 3150 for the trapezium, for the area of the trapezium. So now we have to find everything together. So we have to add 3150 plus 250. We will have 0, 0, 4, 3. So distance travel will be 3,400 meters for time 100 seconds. And that is question number 21. Moving on to question number 2, we have matrix A equal to this, matrix B equal to this. Find this. We just have to replace the value of A and B in the equation. So we have A as 4 minus 1, minus 2, 1, minus B, which is minus 3, minus 1, 2, 4. So we have to bring this 2 inside. We will have 2 times 4 will be 8, minus 4, minus 2 and 2, minus, remain the same for B. So now we have to do one by one. So 8 minus minus 3 will be 11, minus 4 minus 2 will be minus 6, minus 2 minus minus 1 will become minus 1, 2 minus 4 will become minus 2. And that is your answer for part A. Now find A inverse. We know A equal to, it is given to us as 4 minus 1 minus 2, 1. So we have to first find the determinant of A, which is 4 times 1 minus minus 1 times minus 2, which is 4 minus 2, which is 2. Now find the adjacent matrix of A. That will become, we have to flip those two, so 1 will become above and 4 will become down, and then change the sign of those two, become 1 and 2. So from here on, pretty easy. A inverse will become 1 over 2, which is determinant, times this matrix 1, 1, 2, 4. And that is your answer for part B. This is question number 22. Question number 23, factorize 9x squared minus 1. So we know 9 is also equal to 3 squared. We place this back in the equation. We have 3x squared minus 1, which is also 1 squared. So from this we get 3x plus 1, 3x minus 1. That will be your answer for part A. Part B, we have 2y squared plus 29y minus 15. So we have to factorize a quadratic equation. So first thing we have to know, what are the factors of 15? We know 15 is 1 times 15. It is 3 times 5. So those are the two possible options for factors of 15. So now we have 2y squared. So 2y squared needs two brackets. So 2y squared will be 2y times y gives us 2y squared. So now how can we find plus 29? So we have to do something to get plus 29 out of this. So we can only use the first one. So 2 times 15 will be plus 30, and then minus 1 will give us plus 29. So now we expand. Now we solve. So 2x minus 1 is 0. So y will become half. 2, so y plus 15 equal to 0. Y will become minus 15. So your answer will be minus 15 or half, and that is question number 20. Number 24, the table shows the number of goals scored by 40 football teams during one weekend. So in total we have 40 football teams. Find part A, the mode. The mode has the most frequency. Let's find out. So which one is the mode here? So mode will be 0, because 16 is the most frequency and the corresponding value is 0, so that's 0. Find the median. So we have to do 40 plus 1 divided by 2. That will be 20.5. So what is before 20.5? It is 20. After is 21. So where are those two values? So 20th element will be 1 plus 21st element will also be 1. So 1 plus 1 divided by 2 will be 1. So median will be 1. Find the mean. The mean is the sum divided by number of teams, which is 40. How do you find the sum of goals? So here we have 0 times 16 is 0. 1 times 6 will be 6. 2 times 6 is 12. 18, 16, 0, and 12. If you add everything up, you will find the sum. So 6 plus 12 is 18. 18 plus 18 will be 36. 36 plus 16. So 36 plus 16 will be 52. Plus 12 will be 64. So sum is 64 divided by 40. So divided by 4 we have 10. We have 16. So 16 divided by 10 is 1.6. So your answer for the mean will be 1.6. And that is question number 24. Question number 25. The diagram shows the graph of, we have the first line, second line, and third line. So let's find where is this graph. So if we express this as y equal to, we got minus x plus 12 and a half. As you can see, the gradient is negative. It means the line is going down. So on this graph, which line is going down? So we have only one, which is this line. So this line is equal to x plus y equal to 12 and a half. So where is this line? This line, you can see the gradient is positive. It means it's going up. So there's only one line going up. This will be the line y equal to x over 4, and the last one, it's a vertical line, so that's the line x equal to 2. So now we say the region inside the triangle ABC is defined by 3 inequalities. So we have A, B, C, and the region inside is defined by 3 inequalities. So one of these is this inequality, which means that's the line. Everything above this line is inside, right? So part A, write down the other 2 inequalities. So the first one, it can be everything which is on the right side of this line, which will become x needs to be bigger than 2. And the next one will be everything needs to be below this line, right? So here we have this equation, so it will be x plus y less than 12.5. Okay, so now question part B, we have p equal to x, y. X and y are integers, and the points that lies inside the triangle ABC. So basically P is a set of points which are inside the triangle ABC. Pretty easy, right? And Q is a set where the x coordinate is 7, which means it will be on this line 7, and the y coordinate is an integer inside the triangle. Well, it doesn't need to be inside, it's just an integer on the line this. So if you draw a straight line here, like on the 7th thing, you will see what are the possible values of, so that's the line, x equal to 7. So any point, integer point, will be inside the set of Q. Right, so all these points are inside the set of Q, all the integer points. So now question part 1, find the member of the set P that is closest to the point C. So point C is here, and P is integer points inside ABC. So it can be this point, it can be this point, and that is the only option. So P can be only 2 of those points, so P can be 7, 3. Sorry, this was I made a mistake. This is actually 9. This is 9. 7 is here, my bad. But no worries, it's no big deal. We just change the equation to 9 here, that's all. So point P, P can be 9, 3, or it can be 8, 4. So those are the 2 options possible according to the graph. So closest to A, to C, so that will be obviously this option, which will be the point here, which is 9, 3. So your answer for part 1 will be the point 9, 3. So now part 2, find n number of P intersection Q. So find all the possible values in the set P intersection Q. So let's find the line x equal to 7. So that's the line x equal to 7. So the first line I made a mistake, but that's okay, no big deal. So that's the line x equal to 7. Okay, so what are the points, what are the integer points on this thing? So you observe, so here we have a point here, a point here, point here, one here, one here, one here, one here. So now as you can see, there's a few points which are inside of the triangle, right? So those will be the set of P intersection Q. So let's find those points. The first point inside will be 7, 2. So first point is 7, 2. Second point will be we have this one, which is 7, 3. So 7, 3. And the next one we have as 7, 4. And I think the last one we have 7, 5. So 7, 5. So in this case, we have to find the number of elements inside the set. We have 1, 2, 3, 4 elements. So your answer will be 4 for this one. So you can also double check these points using the equation of lines. But since we have a graph here, it's pretty clear that it is inside. So your answer here will be 4. That was question number 25. Question number 26. The diagram below shows triangle ABC. So ABC is a triangle, as you can see. Question part 1. The point D is on the opposite side of AC to B, which means the point D will be on this side. Now we have AD is 6 cm, CD is 8 cm. Construct triangle ADC. So we have to use our compass and a ruler to find the answer. So we first have to measure 6 cm from the ruler to draw the length of AD. So it will be about here. You go to point A, you draw an arc on this side. That was the first part, and then we know that the length CD is 8 cm, so we go to the ruler, measure the length of 8 cm. So we go to point C. Now we have to intersect the first arc we have drawn on the graph. As you can see, here we have a point, and this point will be the point D. So now we construct the triangle ADC. That's the first line, and this is the other line. That's the triangle ADC. Now moving on to part B. On the diagram, construct the locus of points inside the quadrilateral ABCD that are, first condition, 2.5 cm from AC. So this one will be actually, it needs to be 2.5 cm from the line AC. So it needs to be a line parallel to AC on this side and on this side, on both sides. So we have to measure the length of 2.5 and draw the line. For part 2, we have to draw the locus of points, which is equidistant from AB and BC, which means we have to draw the bisector of angle B. Okay, that seems pretty easy. Let's do that. So the first part is to draw the locus of points, which is 2.5 cm from AC. So use our ruler again. Let's measure the length of 2.5 centimeters. So we have 2.5 will be about this length. Okay. So let's first go to point C. Let's draw an arc on this one and an arc above here. And then we go to point A. Do the same thing. So actually we have to do on both sides. So let's draw a semicircle. Right. Go to point C, do the same thing again. So on this side as well. So now we have a point of intersection here. Go to this point. Same thing, go to this point. Draw another. Intersect the first one. Intersect the second one as well. So that's how you will know. You will have 2 points which are equidistant from the both sides. Same thing here. Go to this point. Intersect the arc here and the arc here. So you will have a few points. So the point here and the point here, a point here and a point here. So we have to join those lines. So this will be a straight line from this point to this point. It needs to be inside the shape, so make sure that it is only inside. And here to here, same thing, it needs to be inside of the shape. So that's how you draw locus of points that are 2.5 from AC, which is parallel lines which are 2.5 centimeters from the line. So now we have to draw the bisector of angle B. So where's B? B is here. Let's draw the bisector of angle B. So we have to use our compass. We have to go to angle B. We have to make an arc on AB. Make an arc on BC. You have 2 points, intersection. Go to this point. You have to draw an arc inside of the shape, like that. And go to this arc point. Draw an arc inside of the shape. So you will form a new line of intersection. A point will be here. You have to join B to the point to form the line of locus of points, which is the bisector of angle B. Okay, so that is your answer for part 2. So now the last question is, the points P and Q are 2.5 centimeter from AC and equidistant from AB and BC. Mark and label the point P and Q. So P and Q will be these 2 points. It has to intersect this and this, at this point P and point Q. So question is, measure the P and Q. So let's find the length of P and Q. So we use our ruler. I found out the length is 5 centimeter for me. So your answer may be 5.1 or 4.9, that's okay, but usually should be around this value. And that is question number 26. Here we go. So this is question number 17. The diagram shows triangles A, B, and C. Part A. Triangle A is mapped onto triangle B by an anti-clockwise rotation. So A was mapped onto B by an anti-clockwise rotation. So part A, write down the angle of rotation. So as you can see, it is a rotation clockwise by 90 degrees, which means anti-clockwise it will be 270. Right. So now part 1, find the coordinates of the center of rotation. As you can see, we have this point became this point. So halfway will be here. The point will be 2, 1. And the last one will be part B. Triangle A is mapped onto triangle C by stretch. Write down the scale factor. So how do we find the scale factor? So let's count. We have triangle A, it became triangle B. So this point, it was here, it moved to here. How? So distance was 1. It came to now. Now the distance was 1, 2, 3. So again, distance was 1, 2. And now the distance is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So the distance, the side changed, as you can see, the length. So 1 became 2. And you can see that 1 became 2. So let's write down the scale factor here. Usually when we have the sides as, so this was 1 square, have 2 squares now, it means that the scale factor is 2 divided by 1. It should be 2. Okay. So now if you want to find part 2, write down the equation of the line of the invariant line. So this one, it's really interesting. So we have to observe. So for this to become 2, let's count one by one. So let's say the line was this one. So that was 1, 1, 2. So the point should be here, but it's here. So it's not correct if the scale factor is 2. So let's try this line. So 1, 2. So it means to move by 4 now. So 1, 2, 3, 4. That's good. Let's try again. 1, 2, 3. If the scale factor is 2, we need to multiply 3 by 2. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And the last point, 1, 2. 2 times 2 is 4. So 1, 2, 3, 4. That is good. So the point, the line of invariant will be this line, which is x equal to minus 1. And that is the answer for part 2. That was question number 27. So another way to find the equation of invariant line. So you can see this is the point and this is the corresponding point. So how do we move from this point to this point? We have to move 1, 2 squares. And now since we have the scale factor as 2, so since we move 2 squares, we have to move 2 times 2 to find the line. So 2 times 2 is 4, so 1, 2, 3, 4. That's the point. How about this one? So let's check. So how do we move to this point? We have to move 1, 2, 3. So now if you want to go back to the invariant line, we have to do 3 times 2. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Same point. How about this one? As you can see, we have to move 1, 2 squares to come to here. Now if you go back to the invariant line, you have to do twice, which is 2 times 2, which is 4. So 1, 2, 3, 4. So we have this point and this point. We join this together to form the line x equal to minus 1. So that will be the invariant line. Question number 28. In the diagram, F is a point on AB where AF is 1 over 4 AB. So if AF is P, that means AB is 4 times AF. That will be 4P, and FB will be 3P, if that makes sense. Yeah, okay. So point E is a midpoint of AC. So E is a midpoint of AC. So if AE is Q, it means EC is Q. So now, part A, express in terms of P and Q. The first one is FE. So from this drawing, how do we find FE? So we have to move from F to E. So F will move to A, and A will move to E. So FE is equal to FA plus AE. So now we have AF as plus P. If we move in the opposite direction, it will become minus P. Now, moving A to E is Q, so Q. So that is your answer for part A. So minus P plus Q. Now part 2, find BC. Where is BC? BC is this. So we have to move from B to A and A to C. Okay. So BC is B to A plus A to C. How do you move from B to A? So we have to move this distance in the opposite direction. It will be minus 4P. So 4A, BA is minus 4P plus AC is 2Q. So 2Q, and this will be the answer for part 2. So minus 4P plus 2Q. So now part D. D is a point on BC produced such that BD is a multiple of BC. So we say that we have a point D on the line BC, so BAC. Now it is a multiple of each other. So now we have this information. BD is a multiple of BC. So that's just an information that we have on this line. So now part A, express FD in terms of K, P, and Q. So where is FD? FD. So how do you move from F to D? So we have to move from F, go to B, and then B to D, right? So FD equal to F to B, and then B to D. So what is F to B? As you can see here, F to B is 3P plus BD. So BD by definition is KBC. So K times BC. So we know BC here is minus 4P plus 2Q. So now we expand the brackets. So we have 3P minus 4PK plus 2KQ. Bring this up here. So let's group the P's together. We have P, and here what do we have? We will have 3 minus 4K plus Q will be 2K. So your answer, we have to write it in this form, P plus 2KQ. And that is your answer for part 1. Now part 2, given that F, E, and D are collinear. So what does collinear mean? It means that F, E, and D are on the straight line. They are on the same line. Find the value of K. Okay, so let's have a look. F, E, D are on the same line. So we can have an equation just like BD. We can say that F, D is a multiple. So let's choose any alphabet. For example, we can say we have K here. Let's choose C. So FD is equal to CFE. So just like that, we derive this formula. So let's write this down here, which is FD equal to CFE. So now, what is the value of FD? We found this here. It will become 3 minus 4K bracket P plus 2K bracket Q equal to c times fe. So what is the value of fe? We know here, minus p plus q. Minus p plus q. So now we expand. We have 3 minus 4k. So we leave this alone. We stays the same over here, and we have to expand this part. It will become minus c p and plus c q. So now we have to compare the coefficients of both sides, this and this. So first thing we have here is 2k equal to c for this two, right? And this two we have 3 minus 4k equal to minus c. So we know c is equal to 2k. But replace this in this equation. We have 3 minus 4k is equal to, so c is minus 2k. So your answer will be, if we bring this over here, we will have 2k equal to 3. So k equal to 3 over 2. And that is your answer for part 2. That was question number 28. So this is the last question. If you guys have any other questions or requests, leave a comment down below. I will get back to you guys as soon as possible.